Because as I look right there and look at a young man that was so full of life, full of respect, full of hustle and hard work and integrity. God, for real? And he whispered, Dom was chosen.
I used to sit next to Dom in all the team meetings. I'd walk in every morning, and it would be early, and there was a lot of you guys are not morning people, and I'd tap him on the wrist, and I'd say hello, and he'd have a bright smile, and if he knew I was having a tough day, he'd say, Pat, how are you doing? And he was built right from the inside out, and I really admire him, right? I don't know what I'm good at, but I am good at seeing and reading people, and he was one of the great ones.
Memphis 10 in the tight, man. All the way here.
Memphis 10.
Memphis 10 in the
Dirty
tight,
Dime.
You already know what's up. Look, Uncle Neely in the house.
Let's go, Pregame show from New Orleans, all the way from New Orleans. Hey.
This microphone's a little low. Good afternoon. I see your smiling faces, and I know there's hurt behind it. I'm struggling with this. I'm one of those older gentlemen that's been around a lot of death, and it doesn't get easier. It doesn't get easier. But what I will tell you is I got to know Dom. I got to work with him for a couple years. I got to help bring him into the program. Coach Flea came to me and he said, listen, we got this guy that's already in school. I mean, he's already in school. He don't want any money. He's already in school. All he wants to do is have an opportunity to play football. And so I watched his tape, and his tape was awesome. I mean, he was tall. He could run. He could throw. It was pretty obvious he was going to have a bright future. Now he was coming in to play behind Shurmur, so it was going to take a minute. He's going to take a minute. But all I had to do was meet with him. And so as training camp started, I met with him, and his family came up. And I got a chance to see Dom express what he wanted to do. He just wanted to compete, wanted an opportunity to play football. He wanted an opportunity to live out his dream. And then I had a little session where I met with the family together. And I met the world's biggest mama's boy. Yeah. And I think some of us that are the toughest on the planet are all mama's boys. Like my mother's going to be disappointed I don't have a tie on. I can tell you that. She's 84 years old. And I think that's a beautiful thing. When we go out recruiting, when you can see love and respect for a family like he had, you got the right players. Got the right players. So I used to sit next to Dom in all the team meetings. I'd walk in every morning, and it would be early, and there was a lot of you guys are not morning people, and I'd tap him on the wrist, and I'd say hello, and he'd have a bright smile, and if he knew I was having a tough day, he'd say, Pat, how are you doing? And he was built right from the inside out, and I really admire him, right? I don't know what I'm good at, but I am good at seeing and reading people, and he was one of the great ones. I did write this down, and in the interest of time, I'm going to cut back on this because there's a lot of people here that have a lot to say, but I just feel honored to have been able to work with him, help inspire him. He helped inspire me. He reminded me why we as coaches do what we do, to work with terrific young men like him. And I could go on for days about this young man because of who he was inside out. And the one thing about life is all of us at some point are going to be there. And hopefully all of us will have people up here talking about who we were as people, beyond what your Wikipedia page said, beyond what you have accomplished. We are all members of the human race. Who were you as a human being? And Dom was we used to grade the players 5-0. He's all 5s. I'm going to tell you this. He can throw the ball, he can run. He would have had a bright future if he was given an opportunity. But he is all A's and he's all 5s. And you as a family should be very, very proud. And I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to have been asked to speak. And he made as big an impact on me as maybe I did on him. So I'm grieving with you, but I'm going to take away. I have a daughter, 23 years old, and she dropped me off at the airport in Newark today. And I told her, I said, when you get home, call me. It's about a 20-minute drive. And I was so anxious that 20 minutes until I got the call, Dad, I'm home. And so I understand. I'm a father of 4. I've got 3 grandchildren. I got a bunch on the way still. And our children are precious beings. And we need to cherish them no matter how long they're with us. So I love you guys. I'm praying for you, and I'm there for you.
We will have our final tribute from Coach Prime.
Some way I don't feel right following the family. Please understand how much you inspired me, encouraged me, motivated me, and taught me some things as a family. You gave me life this week. Thank you, CU. Thank you, CU. Thank you, CU, for being here and having our back. I'm going to be brief. Mom, you told me a story that made me think about why we're here, because we always ask questions about why this happened and why that happened, and God, why this and why that. But when we're successful and we're excelling and we're overcoming adversity, we never ask God why then. But only in our demise and sadness of life, we challenge and ask God why. I think I got the solution. Because as I look right there and look at a young man that was so full of life, full of respect, full of hustle and hard work and integrity. God, for real? And he whispered, Dom was chosen. Dom was chosen to unite y'all. Dom was chosen to bring you together. Dom was chosen to override all ethnicities, social climates, background, and ideologies and thought process. Dom was chosen. Mama, you remember the story you told me that I had a camp several years back in Fort Myers, Florida, and miraculously, I chose Dom to go down to this end of the field and throw with Shurmur and just work on their games. I never knew that until you told me a few days ago. Dom was chosen. That's why we're here. Who else? Who else represents God's kingdom like Dom? Always smiling, always happy, always loving, caring, and was one of the toughest workers. How else could a walk-on quarterback lead the quarterback room? Because Dom was chosen. So let's celebrate him. Let's love the moments, and let's forgo the thought processes of the departure. But let's focus on the chosen one, in which he is. I will always love him. I will always acknowledge him in some form or fashion. I would always allow people to understand what type of young man he was. And the only darn thing that I have regret for is that when you sent us a boy, I wanted to send you back a man. So fellas, I'm gonna be on every last one of y'all, because your parents sent you here and you chose to come here to evolve into a man, not to not make it back home. But Dom was chosen. God bless you. Everyone was a key guy, but there's going to be some guys that really stand out. And you probably going to need some media training. So Curtis is the guy. And Nick, where's Neely? Neely in? You guys need to see Curtis or Neely to get some training so you understand how to articulate yourself on a national level. Because we start with the media on Monday, correct?
Yes, sir.
Monday, we start giving the media access to you after the practice. And we pick certain guys each day upon that. So make sure you understand how to present our program properly.